Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? We are going to try the computer and see what's going on. So this is the whole psychic protection energy vampire session. Okay. So I'm going to say hi to you guys. Hope you're doing well, waiting for everything to load. If not, I may have to sign in again. Hi, everybody. It's a little slow over here on my end, I think. There you go. I see you guys now. Okay, so there's still a slight delay, so keep that in mind while I'm broadcasting and then, checking the chats in between topics. Hello, hello. Okay, so psychic protection and energy vampires. I cannot speak tonight. It's so crazy. And it's a huge topic, and there's gonna have to be a part 2 at some point. And there's probably gonna be like 10 different sessions under this umbrella because it's that insane, because they're everywhere. It's like they're everywhere. Evil is everywhere. And I'm joking, of course. I don't actually brand people as evil. However, I kind of like that word instead of using narcissist, because narcissist to me feels like I don't know, we need to see a therapist for that shit. So just throw out the word evil, evil behavior, nastiness. The word vampire we can joke about. And so I kind of feel like sucking the life out of people, even the best of people, even the nicest people, even people who are grounded a lot, they can become an energy vampire. So it's like I said, there's going to be a lot of different conversations about this throughout the year, because I feel like a lot of us, and I know this because of my feedback I get when I do get a chance to read your comments and stuff, that word narcissist is everywhere. So I know a lot of people go through this stuff, and we go through these phases with other people, whether they're coworkers, their friends, their family members, their lovers, ex-lovers, whatever. We go through this stuff in many phases, and we repeat cycles. That's what we do. We're humans. That's it. Okay. So no one's going to be perfect, and no one's going to be at a point in their life, unless they're ready to die, where you're not dealing with some sort of issue with an energy vampire, okay? Now, the psychic protection for me is just about energetically protecting yourself. We say psychic because it comes from the mind. And so that is my number one thing. And I will get to that later on tonight. But as usual, I've got my notebook, and I wrote down a lot of shit. And a lot of shit, because there's a couple of pages here. And I'm trying to keep it brief, somewhat brief, because like I said, I'm going to expand on this. And I've got some other things I'm going to present to you regarding these things at a later date. But tonight I want to talk about the basics. So the first few sessions on our Saturday nights, which by the way, some of you it's Sunday already, so thank you for being here. But a lot of the first sessions, maybe the first 6 or 7, will be basic shit, and then we're really going to get into it. And so I still want to collaborate with you guys, get your feedback as I'm going through my top things. Okay, so these aren't everything. Remember what I said, top issues, top solutions, brief, okay? And I talk a lot. So my idea of brief and yours may be a little different. But anyway, yes, I know. Anyway, let me take a look and see what you guys are saying so far. Misfortune, I totally get you. This is why I hate using the word narcissist. Anyway, we're going to talk about energy vampires and what the signs are. Let's start there. Let me check my camera real quick. Okay, I think I'm good. On my list here, I've got like the top 5 things that I feel are important that I've seen through psychic readings talked to a lot of people in my life, done some research, just collaborating with other people, just whatever it is I get. The top 5 signs that you're dealing with someone, it's not about being on a lower vibration all the time, because like I said, we all fluctuate. So I'm not really judging the energy vamp, but then there's like the extreme, and then there's like the normal, right? The normal, which would be people who are seeking to get better, like us, we're always seeking. If you're in this chat, most likely, unless of course you're a narcissist trying to fuck me over, other than that, you're probably seeking something. Even if it's just confirmation of your own intuition about this matter, or just, your own research, whatever it is. If you're in here, there's a purpose. And so we're going to talk about these things. So the first thing, and yes, I am checking notes because I'm not giving a reading. The number one thing that you are going to notice while dealing with a situation, a person especially, that is sucking the life out of you, aka becoming an energetic vampire, is exhaustion, complete and utter exhaustion. And so whether it's while you're communicating with them or even in your dreams, like the motherfucker pops up in your dream and you're like, why is that coworker Susie all up in my shit? I'm trying to get some damn rest. Like, why am I dreaming about that crazy bitch? Because she's attached herself to you. You've attached yourself to her. And if you're calling her a crazy bitch, you have some sort of weird energy vibe with this person. It could be an energetic tie, but that even if it's brief, but man, if you're thinking she's a crazy bitch and you got her in your dreams, there's an issue. So basically, if you come out of that conversation, whether it's in text, email, believe it or not, even if it's not in person, it might be just as, potent. Phone calls, all those things, electronic ties are rough, okay? Energy is collected through electronic means. People don't get that. It's like when people from the other side try and communicate with us and our lights are blinking. Imagine a live person that you're texting with and how that actually affects you physically, emotionally, mentally, especially in your head. Remember I said that, okay? Sorry that I have to keep drinking water. I'm like literally dehydrated right now because I don't know why. Anyway, so that's the number one thing. You're going to know it because you're just like, oh, I can't breathe. So if you're very empathically sensitive, I'm going to use that word that I don't like using. If you feel incredibly sensitive to other people's presence in your world, like if there's 20 people and you leave the party like, oh my God, I'm so glad to be in my own bed. It's because it's that you're so empathic that you soak it up. And when you soak up too much stuff, even if it's all positive energy, remember, too much of a good thing, right? You can still crash. So energy vampires can be a group of people who are just in your space and you're interacting with them and it's just exhausting. That's it. Or they're fucking nuts. They're fucking nuts and they're purposely like attaching themselves to you because you've got a damn light bulb above your head because you're pretty and shit. All right, number 2. If you are dealing with a friend, a family member, coworker, ex, I don't give a fuck, it's another person. They're projecting their issues onto you. And number 2 is important, monopolizing your time. Listen, monopolizing your time is a huge one because these people who are projecting their shit need a garbage pail. They need a garbage bag. They need something to get rid of their shit onto, or whatever. And when they find that person, you, me, them, whoever, they're going to suck the life right out of it. That's why they're a vampire. They're going to squeeze the life out of it until there's nothing left because they need something. You got it? Again, they may not know they're doing this. Isn't that fun? Like, it's almost like an undercover narcissist, but then they're innocent because they don't know they're being narcissistic. Like, I know I have tendencies to be narcissistic, especially when I've taken it up the ass like a million times for years and years, and then I finally explode and I go crazy. I'm acknowledging that. I'm not a true narcissist because I cry, number 2, but there are people out there that just don't know they're doing it. They don't know, and you have to set those boundaries. Hold on. Got to write that down. You got to set those boundaries. That's going to be part of another point I have to make later on. But when they're, projectile vomiting their garbage onto you and your mouth is wide open, like, and you're taking it and taking it, you think that you're getting attention from them, but really you're not. They're sucking the life out of you. And then you pancake it to the floor and you're like, fuck, not only are you, number one, exhausted, and their shit is coming up in your dreams, they've taken up so much of your time that you've let other shit go. So if you're noticing a number 2 sign is you're letting other shit go in your life, bad. So is it their fault or yours? I don't know, maybe both. But you know that you're dealing with someone else who has probably bigger issues than you. Your only issue is that you didn't set boundaries and that maybe you're a little needy because you thought you were helping them. You thought you were doing them a solid in some way. It's not about being selfish. It's about being healthy in the way we set boundaries. So only reason why I can tell you this is because I've fucking done it. So I'm coming out here and I'm putting it out there and I'm saying, I'm going to teach you some shit that I've done wrong. And I'm going to say, don't fucking do it. I don't have a problem putting my stuff out there because, well, that's what YouTube is about. Okay. So I'm here to give you my free shit. I'm here to empty out my soul, not projectile vomit all over you, but to let you know, hey, here's your chalkboard. Don't do that shit. Okay. Number three, when you don't connect with them for like a few days, 3-4 days, maybe longer, and all of a sudden you're like, life is different. You don't know why. You haven't really connected the dots yet, but life is different. And then you realize, oh, fuck. Joe, Susie, Betsy, bitch face, they've been gone for a few days. They might have found another supply somewhere, or you left town and something happened. And, you feel better. You just thought of it. You're like, oh, thank God. Can you be involved in a codependent, kind of narcissistic, back and forth, projectile vomiting situation where you're both 50-50? Abso-fucking-lutely. So both of you were like this, and all of a sudden now you're going to be like this and then like this. And all of a sudden both parties are feeling amazing. Well, that's the end of that friendship, relationship, marriage, whatever. And I mean better, clean slating it. Hallelujah. You're praising Jesus, God. You're on your knees. You're crying tears of joy and shit. That's, it's that insane. Not only do you feel lighter, but it's your energy repairing itself. It's like quitting smoking. Again, something I've done. The minute you quit, like you give it a week, your lungs are already in repair mode. It's like instant. Same thing with alcoholism. It feels like shit, but it's repairing itself. Same thing with your aura, right? Your chakra system, all these things that keep ourselves grounded. You remove the cancer, you have time to heal. Yeah, there's a gaping hole in your soul for a minute, but, and here's another point I'm going to make. You may feel that gaping hole in your soul. You may feel like something's missing. Yeah, the piece of shit that you removed out of your space. You need to fill it with neutral energy, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, number 4, the 4th sign. You feel used. Like you can't really put your finger on it. You spent all this time, like 1, 2, and 3 is already still happening. And most likely the 5 points I'm going to give you, it's all happening at once, right? It's all happening simultaneously. However, you're dealing with the fact that something's wrong. Like, are they using me? That's the first thought you're going to have. Are they using me? Yeah, they're using you. If you're thinking they are, they are. How are they using you? Are you giving your power to them? What are they doing with the energy you're giving them? Your time, your speech, your advice. Holy shit. When you have a girlfriend, a friend of yours, or a boyfriend that's platonic, and they're always calling you because there's always something wrong, or you're going back and forth and you're giving each other really shitty advice because, well, you're, again, projectile vomiting garbage, right? You feel like it's not equal give and take. You feel like, but the biggest one, jealousy, sabotage, it's all one thing. Jealousy, sabotage, the no give and take. Oh, something happens like your dad dies and they're nowhere to be found. That happened to me. And I was 100% sure that person had to go at that point. 110% sure, actually. I knew they were going to go anyway, but that was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was okay with that because I was already prepared. However, most people are not prepared for the exit. The exit, you have to come up with an exit strategy, which is another thing we're going to talk about. But those are the 5 signs you're dealing with an energy vamp. And these are the biggest ones. There are other signs out there. I'm aware of this, and I could talk all night about it. But those are the ones where you might think this is happening. Your intuition, going back to the last session, your intuition's like, hey man, you're questioning this for a reason. If we question these things, there's a reason for it. What about they invade your space? Yeah, we're going to talk about that later, sweetie. Okay, I've got a whole like curriculum here for tonight, so hang in there. Questions and answers I'll deal with later. Okay. What's up, guys? So I'm mostly referring to human beings, and I'm not talking about otherworldly energies like guides, angels, dark entities. I'm not doing that yet. That's a separate conversation. We're talking about people. We're talking about basic energy vampires. These are the top 5 I have in terms of recognizing it. Guess what? Number 1 type of relationship, I'm sure you guys already know this, but the number 1 relationship that is affected by this or attracted to this kind of a weird narcissistic vibe is going to be a friendship, not a love relationship. That is where most people get fucked over the most. They get fucked over the most with friends, people they thought they were their friends, coworkers, or, those who go out of their way to cozy up to others and suck the life right out of you, okay? Some of them know what they're doing, some don't. That's another conversation. That's more about the narcissistic abuse topic I have coming up for you guys. So now we have those top ways to know that you're dealing with someone. Now remember, I'm not saying kick them to the curb just because they have their moments, right? There are ways to figure out, well, is this person truly an asshole and using me, or are they just kind of in a funk right now? What are the ways to protect yourself? We're going to get into that next, okay? I will be getting into questions and answers and advice later. But let's talk about how to protect yourself energetically, just, spiritually, energetically. Number 1, there's people out there that do candle spells, crystals, voodoo. They surround themselves with white light, and it's all creative visualization. I like my candles. I like my crystals, because what that does is it gives you something tangible to hold on to visualize, especially if you're attracted to fire, if you're attracted to stuff that's, emotional. Water, people are attracted to water, so they'll go swimming, take baths, spiritual baths. They use everything from tossing crystals into the water to Epsom salts to just basic, like, pure water. That's it. They go into the ocean, they get into their bathtub, they stand in the shower. That's a huge cleansing thing. So that's one of the elements. Earth is the other. Grounding yourself, hugging a goddamn tree. I don't care what you're doing. If you're a hippie, go for it. Just putting yourself inside the earth. If it's fucking cold outside, you find another way to do it, right? I love fire. I burn shit. Burn it all, baby, burn. Go to my Instagram. I just burned some shit tonight. Put that shit in the fireplace, or go outside, do a bonfire, whatever you have to do. I don't care if you're Wiccan, if you're a Christian, burning that shit helps, okay? Now, cleansing your chakras, that's another topic too, but you can creatively visualize your own self cleansing each and every chakra. You start with your grounding underneath your root chakra. You go all the way to the 7th, okay, right here. I even believe there's an 8th, an invisible 8th, but your aura is around you. Then go up all the way to the top, all the way down, realign yourself. You can all do it in your mind. In your mind, you can visualize your chakras however you see fit. I see them as spheres, different colors, just like you see in books and stuff like that. If you want to go get a book to do it, do it. But close your eyes. You can do it in bed, 2 seconds. Visualize all this shit leaving your body. You can stand in the shower and envision yourself in a glass dome. I don't put myself in a bubble because they pop. Chanting, I don't care what you do. Praying, just straight up prayer, all these things actually help protect your energy. Remember, the one thing all of these things have in common is your mind. So you may be holding a crystal, right? You're holding a crystal. But what does it really do? It's a fucking crystal, right? It's an object. It's what your mind says it's going to do. It tells it to do something. So remember that when you're dealing with someone who's sucking the life out of you, or a narcissistic situation, which I have more on that later, you control your energy. They don't control it, you do. So if you're feeling exhausted and this is new to you and you're like, what the fuck was that? Well, I just enlightened you. And now that you're aware, you can already go into your day tomorrow, try it for fun, and just protect yourself a little bit. See if the effects of other people lessen. Then look at the kind of shit that's in your mind. Are you inviting this in? Are you pushing it away? Are you so worried about it and overly protecting yourself, that's important, that you invite it in some more? You got to have some sort of balance. It's almost like when we do affirmations and we put out the affirmation to the universe and then we don't believe it's going to happen. And then we keep doing the affirmations like every day, 3 times a day. It's the same thing. So you protect yourself once, you fucking let it go. Very important. Okay. I'm not going to judge everybody's, methods, but, candles, spells, prayer, voodoo, crystals, white light, as long as it's in a positive sense. Here's an example if you're doing spell work, right? Any kind of spell, a binding spell, whatever. You're doing it to protect yourself. You're just keeping the energy off of you. You are not sending negativity towards someone, right? It's all about you. Remember, it has to be about you, can't be about them. All right, very important. Chakra balancing, never about someone else, always about you. Call upon your healing guides, your angels, however that works for you. The spiritual bath thing is fun. Okay, if you like baths, you can be a dude and like baths. It's all right, man. Just get your ass in that bathtub. The soft music, anything that will relax your body, but the key is to clear your mind, free it, and then only focus on the white light, the energy that you want, not the energy you don't want. If we focus on the shit we don't want, it's like the law of attraction. All you're going to do is live in that shit. We're trying to get rid of the pile of shit. We're trying to cleanse ourselves, not live in piles of shit. And then say that we're surrounded by white light. Sure, you're in a pile of shit with white light around you. You still smell like ass. Like nothing's going to change unless you remove the ass. You know what I mean? Remove that shit from your space. Remember, cut out the cancer, the asshole, whatever. If you yourself are overly worried about your own empathic abilities and you feel like you can't control it, I'm saying tell yourself you can, and then you can. It's that simple. It's a belief. It's all about faith, right? So if you believe you're psychic, here's an example. You can feel things, hear things, see things, just know things, then the same will go for protecting yourself against other people, other human beings, right? I'm not talking about other worldly entities like, angels and guides and all that. Or dark entities. We're talking about humans. So if you believe you can control your own energy psychically, or you can see the future, or you can just know what someone's energy is saying to you, then you can control what gets into your own space, okay? But sometimes we get overwhelmed. We're normal people. Shit happens. I'm going to keep saying that word, aren't I? Shit happens. And you're going to have to just go, okay, time to clean up the mess, right? I got a toddler. It's like a toddler running around your space all the time. And I'm constantly cleaning it. It's a never ending deal until they're like, well, I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter. It's, she's a little better now. But, probably years and years and years of cleaning up after the toddler until they become a man. And then they got to go because they're still going to be messy because they're a dude, right? That's your energy. It's a constant battle, but I think you can find some maintenance, right? Okay, let me move on. Boundary setting with human beings. Fun, right? Verbal. That doesn't mean shit. It's like in the court of law. You can have a verbal agreement, but if it ain't in writing, it doesn't mean shit, okay? If you don't follow through, doesn't mean shit. So that's important. There are a lot of things we can do physically, like Reiki, for example, that I did not talk about, that you can do with other humans. I do highly recommend it if you like it. if you like the mystical massages, if you like Reiki healing sessions that are consistent, if you want to learn Reiki, if you want to get attuned, whatever it is you want to do, those things will help clear your energy. But remember, it also opens you up to energy. You know, there's the open door, closed door situation. You open yourself up to this, you're opening yourself up to more energy. So remember, though you can protect yourself against the energy vamp, you're still opening yourself up to the innocent vamp, you know, the one that doesn't know it's doing it, right? Okay. So the other thing about protecting yourself is no contact. This one's tough. Let me switch gears here. Look at, I love this tower. This tower is crystal fucking clear. Beautiful quartz. And it's not like my, where do I have it? Oh no, this one's, I love some of these, but this one's crystal clear. And it's super special. I keep it on my desk for all my readings, okay? But anyway, what I want to talk about is the no contact law. If it gets so bad to where you can't fucking tolerate them anymore, friend, family member, whatever, you have to cut their ass off. Temporarily, permanently, whatever you feel led to do, okay? And so in that case, it's an extreme situation. And when that happens, and I've done this plenty of times, you can't do it if there's any chance of remorse, and you can't second guess anything like that. So if you cut someone off and you know it's only temporary, have your timeline set, get your energy back together, refocus on yourself, and then see what happens. If it continues and you set boundaries, you've talked to them, you've done whatever you had to do, and it doesn't work, cut off, no contact is key. If you're dealing with a narcissist, for real narcissist, obviously, you know, that's going to be a way to go. The most important thing, if you're dealing with an energy vampire who is innocent, is the test run, okay? The test run, which is the pull your energy back a little bit, take a step back, wait it out, see how you feel first. If you don't feel much different, then maybe you're the problem, not them. It happens. It's okay. It's all right to be an energy vampire if you didn't mean it. Fix your shit, reconnect, right? But if we're talking about years and years and years of abuse or years and years of other stuff, I mean, we're talking extreme shit, gotta go, right? But this is like the temporary stuff. Here's the big thing though, and I'm reading some of my notes, sorry. If you are dealing with the most extreme circumstance and you have not been able to remove yourself from the situation even temporarily, and you feel like you're being mind fucked, and on top of it, they're doing the whole projectile vomiting, monopolizing your time, but yet there's a part of you that needs them, the codependency. If you think they're trying to fuck with you, they're trying to gaslight you, those are extreme measures or whatever that they may be taking. If they sense you pulling back, you can play along for a little bit to confirm your intuition. You can try and pull back a little while, you know, playing along. But I always say, let them think they have won. If you're not sure, in the meantime, it is like a fake it till you make it communication-wise. So now I'm talking about texting, emailing, verbally, you know, communicating in person, all of that. You know, whether it's a dating situation, a friend, a family member, listening to someone's problems, you have to go through this process of being sure. If you're one of those people, some people are like, fuck it. Like they don't even have this problem because they're the Queen of Swords times 10 in reverse, and that's fine. Those of us who are not are going to have to go through a process, right? So here's the thing. It's all in your head. What you believe they're telling you, if it's true, if it's false, if they're gaslighting, if they're mind fucking, all that, same thing, right? Whatever you believe is the only thing that matters. Whatever you choose in your head, in your heart, in your physical sense to give back is on you. So you have to take a little bit of responsibility for cleansing yourself, staying grounded, whatever. Do not confuse crying, screaming, fighting for your rights, standing up for yourself, even bitching, even being like kind of a cunt face for a minute. Do not confuse those as negatives. You need to release something. If you're getting it thrown at you, you're allowed to give it back. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I don't mean that in a fuckery way. I mean that in a give and take. Give and take, baby. So that's cleansing as well. Running, exercising in any way, swimming, all those things. Whatever you have to do to clean your space, do it. Okay, so now, let me see what else. I have a few more points and then I'm going to shut the hell up, go through the list of questions. There are different scenarios I can try and cover, but if they run or bleed into another session, I'll let you know, okay? So the narcissist, just so we can put that out there, the saboteur, the person that's like gaslighting you, that is another conversation we will have. And I'm going to go through a separate set of ways to deal with that. I covered a few, okay, minor tips. But on an energy level, there are ways to, we can try and prevent people, but we can't stop free will. So what I'm saying to you is this: we can try and protect ourselves, but shit gets through the cracks all the time. We're humans. We're not perfect. We're not robots. You're going to have this. It's going to happen again, right? It's just always going to happen again. And we're going to go through a cycle. And really, we're just going to get better at maintaining our position, our space in terms of interacting with other people and setting those boundaries and taking care of ourselves. This is all about self-care. In the end, it's about you and self-care. It's not so much about the energy vampire, because like I said, they may not even know they're doing it. And if they do, fuck them. We'll figure that out later. So here's the thing. It's about putting yourself first, following your heart, your intuition. Remember, your intuition does not have any emotions attached to it. So that knowing, that feeling, that gut instinct that you're going to follow because you have faith in yourself and you believe in yourself, forgetting what other people are telling you. If you know it doesn't feel right, it's not for you. They may want you for a reason. They want your time for a reason, right? So never discount how valuable you are to other people. Make sure that you see your own value. And if other people think you're weak or think you're naive, let them think that. I do every day, all the time. I play stupid all the fucking time. Because why? Because it works. It works. I let people think I hate them. I let people think I love them. It just depends on who I'm dealing with and what kind of vibe. If I'm dealing with someone that's a client, it's just a client and it's temporary. If I'm dealing with someone that attached themselves to me and they pretended to be my friend or whatever, that's a whole nother ball game. So put yourself first always. And let's go back. So the signs. Let me scroll through some of these comments you guys are making. Okay. There are very crazy scenarios that I'm not even going to touch tonight because remember, I'm doing basic shit. And it's not that I don't care about your situations. I know about all of them. I've lived through most of them. As a child, as a teen, as an adult, as an educator, we've all been through it. And that's why I'm up here letting you guys know, I've done bad, stupid shit myself. I've allowed things that I shouldn't have allowed. And then I've cut things off when I probably shouldn't have. There's always that give and take with yourself and the lessons you learn from fucking up. And so I'm saying to you, number one, the most important thing of this whole session is it's okay to make a fucking mistake. It's okay to misjudge someone. It's okay to get hurt, right? It is okay to, fall prey to bullshit. It happens to all of us, right? But understand that people become nasty because of their own experiences as well. We can still see things from a positive light, but keep those boundaries up, protect yourself, and not allow yourself to feel so sorry for that person that you do it again and again and again, right? So keep that in mind. We all have patterns of shit. Okay. Thank you for talking about my nails. I just finally got them done because they were breaking and I was looking real fucking stupid. Okay. So here's the thing. Desiree, the narcissistic thing, that specific word, I'm going to cover that, but I do agree with you. They happen in platonic situations the most I've noticed, okay? So if it's not a love relationship for some reason, you are more susceptible, to false friends. Oh, and I should give you guys a pointer here. I always tell people I told one of my false ex-bitches that I had to kick to the curb, if you're being fake with me, and I knew she was, if you're being fake with me, your punishment, your karma is having to listen to me. Like, you chose to attach yourself to me and be a douche, a douche bitch. Your punishment is having to listen to me, because you're going to sit here and try and suck the life out of me on purpose as one of those vampires that have a purpose. Then you get to listen to me. And I hope you're drowning in me. Fuck you. So that's a tip. You know, look at it from that perspective. The people that go out of their way to purposely set you up, they want something from you. They're going to use you. They're going to, hey girl, all that bullshit. Their punishment is having to listen to you cry about shit. You know, that's just kind of how I see it. So fuck them. The ones that don't know they're doing it, there is that door, that opening, that line, that boundary that they will actually react well to. So if you're setting a boundary with someone because they crossed the fucking line and didn't know it, you'll know, because their reaction will be, holy shit, I'm so sorry. And then you'll see them, not hear them, see them make a change immediately, because they are mortified that they're an asshole, because we all are, right? So give them another chance, right? Give them a chance. Not the ones that you know damn well there's no reason for them to have crossed that line, okay? So keep that. You know what I mean? Okay. I know it, Heatherette. A lot of them don't know, and that's different. That's a totally different vibe, okay? Now, like I said, set those boundaries. They'll react well. You'll know. But the friendship thing, that's so fucked up, you know? So here's the thing. You give an inch, they take a mile, they take 10 miles. That's a totally different vibe. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm not getting everybody's comments. So let's start by talking about, let's go back real quick. Let me see the time here. Okay, I have 15 minutes. Let's go back to the signs. Go ahead and share your signs, because on the replay, other people will be seeing your chat. You can also come back and leave a comment if you want, if it's more long-winded. Share your stories if you feel the need. Try to avoid personal information like your name, your sign. Do not put your sign in your comments. But go ahead and share your experiences, because this is, for me, collaborative. I'm giving you what I've seen on the basic end. Remember, this is going to be extended into a series, but it's going to be at different times, because I'm going to have other topics just as important to discuss. So exhaustion. While you're communicating with the person, they're showing up in your dreams and shit. You can't get rid of them. You're like, what the fuck? That's number one. Projecting their issues onto you all the time, monopolizing your time. That's a huge one. That's number two for me. Number three for me is you feel instantly lighter when they disappear for a little bit. And actually, you'll know that's a sign as well, is poof, the ghosting. And then they come back when they need something. Hello, right? That's a big one. Do you feel used, right? Do you feel used? If you feel used, especially in the long-term sense, over and over and over again, you're being used. You know, the whole, if they're jealous of you, and we didn't really get into this one, but the jealousy, the sabotage, the backstabbing, you know, the whole ghosting thing on top of all that, it's like best friends, right? You know, one girl has a wonderful relationship with someone, but the other one's jealous, and then they go and try and fuck up the relationship. Do you really love that friend if you're doing that? No, you're a fucking asshole. You know, do they pretend to be your friend while they're lusting after your boyfriend or girlfriend? Sure. You know, those are signs, right? And then what happens is that they get jealous so that they monopolize your time away from your happiness. If you are realizing that you're giving too much time to negativity, like the friend that has problems all the time, but then they're not there for you, you know, you drive them everywhere because they don't have a fucking license. But then if you need a ride somewhere and they have a car, all of a sudden they're gone. They're at the club. They're somewhere else, you know. I wrote that in an article like 10 years ago, and it's still something that's happened to me, that it's like, are you serious right now? It still happens to people. You know what I mean? So can you really, really protect yourself 100%? No, you can't. You can do all these things that your mind tells you will work, right? And it does work. I believe in that energy cleansing. I believe in everything I'm telling you. Not everybody does. So if you're one of those people in my chat right now that's like, bitch is crazy, it's a fucking rock. Yeah, it is. My mind tells me the rock has power because I gave it my power to cleanse me. And in my mind and in my heart and in my body, it is cleansing me. But I do like the idea of throwing these in the bath, just saying. Okay. So let me look at some of your comments here. Jeanette, you're welcome, sweetie. Jillian, right? I'm just saying, it's okay to not have a car. But like when you get one, at least be there for your bitches and bros that were there for you. Just like be nice, you know? Roxy B, perceptions. I just did the Taurus video on YouTube, and that is their theme. Isn't that some shit? You just said that, and I literally, right before I logged on, just did their tagline, and they're going to be uploaded tonight after we're done. It is from the 8th until the 21st, and that is their whole thing. I'm glad you can relate. So, oh my God, I'm reading some of your comments. You guys are funny as shit. Okay. Ooh, I like wearing crystals too. So like jewelry and stuff. I have bracelets. I'm going to show you some of my bracelets next time. I believe in healing powers of spirit, angels, you know, myself. And I think the most important thing, like I said a couple of times, is if you want to protect yourself or rid yourself of the vamp, it's all up here. It's all here, you know. I like the fun part of dealing with the narc, though, the narcissist, is letting them think that you're a dumbass. Like, you can have fun with this. You can have fun with this. Let them think you're an idiot, because in the end, it won't matter. All that matters is you anyway. You are going to be on your own deathbed, in your own head, and no one's going to fucking matter in the end, no matter what, right? So there's that. In the meantime, it's best to find a way to focus on your white light, your happiness, whatever you want to do to cleanse your space. I mean, I gave you like all these different examples of fun shit that us psychics and intuitives and mediums do. Wiccan people do, pagans do, you know, we do all these things, but you don't have to. You can just creatively visualize yourself being cleansed and healed no matter what. And like I said, the best thing for you to do to get rid of it, to get rid of someone that's infiltrated your space, that won't go away, that won't stop, that won't, you know, adhere to your boundaries, is to honor yourself and cut them the fuck out, you know, with reason, right? Within reason. Like you need to have a reason. You know what I do is I actually wait till I cannot do it anymore. Even if I knew that they were an asshole 6 months ago, I'll just let them kind of, I'm really mean about it too. I just kind of let them, you know, suffer through me. You know, they're fake as fuck. You have to deal with me, and you're going to deal with me a little longer. And then bye-bye. Ghosting is good in a case of the narcissist. And then you have to seal that deal by no contact. The codependent part of ourselves, we all have it. Do not be ashamed of it. You know, the one thing I will bitch about right now, and you guys can join in if you want, is that people shame codependency, right? The devil and tarot, they shame codependency. And why? So what? You know, it happens. How do you learn, right? We can't hear that codependency is so bad if we don't go through it, and we can't clear it out of our space if we don't go through it. You should not be ashamed of yourself for being codependent, right? Because, or needy, or a little bit psycho at times, because you're a human being. Like, you have to have balance. That's why I started Veronica Ray Channel instead of just keeping everything under intuitive pathways, because we cannot be like this all the time. We cannot, you know, live a lie. We're human. So if you get a little codependent, okay, you know, fucking shit happens, right? So no codependent shaming. This is not what this is about. The energy vampire can be ourselves. And you know, while we're going through the list of signs, and you know you've done it, don't feel bad about doing it and being a jerk. You can try and apologize to the person you were a jerk to. If they don't care, fine, great. Otherwise, Forgive yourself. Don't feel bad about it. Now you know. You're like, fuck, I projectile vomited all over Joe down the street here, and he probably hates me now. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's doing the same thing back at you, and then it's equal give and take, and then it's not so bad. You see what I mean? There are the vampires that go out of their way, and this is why we all get hurt, is because we're like, really? I was so nice to you, and you were a dick. And you keep sucking the life out of me. Why? What did I do to deserve it? Nothing. You were empathic. You cared. They didn't. Okay, there are billions of people in the world. We don't need you. We need them, whatever it is. And we move on. And it's not always that easy. And again, don't feel bad for being a Klingon, because it happens. However, if you get to that point where you're sucking the life out of someone else because they have been caring and loving toward you and they set a boundary, you need to adhere to that. That's just everything's vice versa. You know, it's really interesting because you can have that support system around you that's healthy, but healthy doesn't always mean positive. Remember, I'm saying this. You can't be happy all the time. You can't have a positive outlook all the time. Just because you're having a bad day does not make you an energy vamp. Because they're having a bad year doesn't make them a vamp. But if it's a situation where they're so like blinded to themselves, they can be a vamp, and then it's up to you to set the standard and to not allow it. And that's it. That's just it, right? So stalkers, I'm not talking about you. Assholes that are trying to sabotage other people. I'm talking to the normal people who don't do those things, who are on the receiving end of needing to mentally basically protect yourself. Energy comes from projection and perception, the two P's, right? Okay. Something in the system. I love your name, by the way. I think I said that to you before. It's so true. I only cut off the people I know are fucking fake. Like, I know there's no chance. You know what I mean? I know that there's no reviving it. And remember, we get to a point with some of these people by having spiritual contracts. Every single person we meet, we have a contract with. The length of the contract depends on the connection. What is the purpose of it? Sometimes you are meant to deal with narcissism. Sometimes you are meant to be temporarily insane and narcissistic and sucking the life out of people, right? So I think that for me, the overall energy here, it's not so much about the protection and the prevention, because we can only do so much. It's free will, right? But it's about what you allow in, what you take from the experience, what you do next, what's your next step. Now that you've dealt with this energy vampire, all you really probably learned was what not to do to someone else, which is a huge lesson. And you know how it feels, so don't do it, right? If you can control it. But if you're emotional, you're emotional. If it's temporary, fine. If it's super long-term, like years and years, okay, professional help is always available, right? Same thing for that other party. I'm going to give you a personal story before we get into one more thing, and then I'll let you go. I had this friend for 30 years. Beautiful relationship. We were just thought, she was my best friend. And she got into some shit. She got a little insane, and she just wasn't the same. And she had a really huge traumatic situation happen to her. And I'll tell you, she lost her son. We were pregnant together. And at 17 weeks, she found out he had some issues developing, and they told her that he probably wouldn't even make it to birth, and he did. And then when they realized that she would be able to deliver, he would have to have immediate surgery. And so he had the surgery, was in a coma, died 30 days later. It was the worst moment of my life, seeing her go through that. Afterward, her relationship broke up. She lost it. She became obsessive with fitness to the point where it was unhealthy, really bad. drugs, alcohol abuse, especially. And so I had to do the thing that people don't want to do, which is confront them, try and help them, tattletale, call the parents, the sister, you know, be the real friend, be the true friend, and suck it up because you know it's over, because you know it's never going to happen, because you know they're going to fucking destroy you with words and then kick you to the curb. And it happened to me. That's what happened. 30 years, right? And 30 years of friendship gone because of all of that. And so in the process of her going through all of these things that she was in denial about, she became nasty, mean, sucked the life out of me, did all these things. That's just one person, by the way. This is the one that it's like if she got better and came back, I would take her back because we had a real friendship, you know, since we were 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? And it's been almost 5 years. And so when I removed her, because I didn't have a choice, she pretty much got rid of me. It was like it instantly was better. And I went through a couple of big things with her before this happened too. I did confront her. I did do everything right that, you know, psychologists tell you to do prior to confronting a situation like this. But when she left my life, though I still love her very much, I actually don't miss her because of the energy that I went through for so many years with her. She ended up being very abusive toward me and other people, her own family. You know how that works, right? Is it her fault? No, she snapped. She lost her baby, you know. But it's a situation where I don't know. You know, I don't know. I would hope that eventually we could, you know, and she would get her help, but she didn't. You know, I know for a fact she didn't. I'm still connected. So disconnected from her, but connected to other people. So she didn't get her help. But that's a situation where you don't have a choice and they are an energy vampire. They don't mean to hurt you because they're self-absorbed, not selfish. There's a difference. So that's a personal example of something I had to go through, and it was very, very painful. And I still every day think about her. But I don't have to be abused anymore by the situation and go through that pain, right? So keep that in mind, that when we go through these things, it's not always because they're hateful individuals and that you are supposed to hate them for what they're doing, right? You have to see it as it is. And our egos get in the way of healing, of preventing these things from occurring in the future. Our egos keep us stuck in a situation with people from the past or whatever, even the present, our lovers, our family members. You know, the title of these relationships keep us stuck in situations that we don't belong in. So she was my best friend, absolutely. And it killed me to allow this thing to end. It killed me, really. It was fucked up. But I did not, this is the one time I did it right. I did not allow that title of best fucking friend to keep me in a negative situation. I mean, she was acting out in front of my kids. She was saying shit about my kids that I was like, who are you? The problem with my situation with her is that when we were pregnant together, at the time I was a smoker and her son was already diagnosed, you know, and I was smoking, and she was pissed at me for being a smoker. And yeah, okay, it probably wasn't the right thing to do to my son. I get that. I quit years later, right? I quit. But she was so pissed at me because it wasn't fair. How is it I'm doing all these perfect things, and she was Miss Perfect, and then I'm over here smoking and my kid is like ridiculously healthy? So those things we can't really explain, you know, we can't really explain. But that didn't help, you know, that didn't help. But we all are in our own spaces. So when I'm smoking like a moron, and I don't condone it, and I'm not proud of it, but I was already, you know, 20 years in with the smoking when I got pregnant by accident. But anyway, while I was in my own world, I needed to smoke because I had my own issues, my own addiction, and she had her situation you don't see eye to eye, you don't understand each other, and so there it is, right? We were both probably vampires in our own right. And so in the end, all you have to do when you're dealing with each individual separately, you can't just like put them all in one narcissistic cup of tea, right? You can't just say they're all narcissists. But once you take them one at a time and you look at them and you take that step back, you'll be able to know intuitively what to do, what works for you. You know, what works for you. It is Sarah K. The absolute worst thing for a woman, I feel, who's given birth to deal with. I don't know. It's awful, you know. So it's hard. You can't judge people that go through that and you go, well, you knew what you were doing. Maybe not, probably not, you know. So that was easy for me to look at that situation and go, okay, you know. The only thing she gets from me is positive vibes. Absolutely. All the time. And that's okay to give that, right? That's okay, because she's not going to take from me on purpose, you know. Some of us, like some of the people I've had in my life, and you guys are saying the same thing, so I'm going to talk about that. With soul contracts and stuff like that. The people that know what they're doing, sure, we're contracted to them, but yes, you can control that. Yeah, I'm reading some of your comments, guys. Yeah. I'm reading some of you guys, your comments. Thank you guys so much for your lovely comments about that story. But that is, you know, because I think a lot of people misconstrue what I'm talking about. Like psychic protection, energy, vampires, it's all the time. It's every day. It's all around us. And it's not necessarily people that hate you. You know, it could be people that truly love you. Sorry, a video got done and just like popped up on my screen. Okay, so, you know, I hope this was helpful to some of you guys. There's a lot of things that I think we can do, you know, fun things, like I said, the crystals, and it gives, you know, if anything, I would just suggest we always jump our asses in the bathtub or the shower, or take that time out to ground yourself in the 4 elements. If you can, I know sometimes in the winter time, if you get snow, you can't just ground yourself outside, but hey, you know what? If you like winter sports, put your ass in the snow. It's water, you know, it's cleansing, you know, take your time and put yourself in that place to take care of yourself. It automatically kind of keeps the shit away from you, you know, it does. So please let me know what you thought of the basics. These are, remember, just the basics. We have a lot more time to delve into the big shit, which we're going to get some help doing that too. I got some friends that I'm going to introduce to you guys later. But let me know in the comments. Let other people know your thoughts. And if you have anything to add, fun shit especially, I want to keep it as light as possible, because I don't want people to feel like you have no hope in taking care of yourself, or, you know, constantly being monopolized by negative energy, because I feel like we can create our own vibes, right? Even if we've got other energies around us that it's like, oh God, this fucking shit is draining, right? I know I do all the time. Remember that you can purposely go out of your way to take 5 seconds, close your eyes, visualize any of these things, like, you know, your chakras being balanced, or, you know, the negative vibes going away from you. As long as you're not sending the negativity back, just find a way to discard it and then emanate the light within you. And, you know, just you want to attract what you want, not what you don't want. So just remember that, okay? You can do whatever you want as long as it's positive for you and for the people around you. And those who do not match that energy will fall away. Trust, believe, have faith in yourself, and all will be well. I promise. Okay? Don't let those mind fuckers tell you what the truth is. You know what the truth is. Just saying. Intuition. So, oh, I forgot to mention meditation. Yeah, shit. Spiritual baths, showers, meditation, outside, swimming, sports, exercise. Meditation does count, by the way. I didn't mention it because I figured a lot of us already do meditate when we need to. But just keep in mind that when you're feeling drained, that could come from anybody, even people you don't know. So always do like a ritual for yourself when you feel is necessary, okay? So self-care, bitches. It takes time to do that. Some of you are going to have to get into a routine, and that sucks. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here and for subscribing to Veronica Ray here on YouTube and for just supporting me all over the place. You guys are really, really amazing, honestly. I want to share a deck with you guys before I let you go. Okay, let me grab the box. So for fun, I'm going to do one card per element. If you're in my chat, the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards, okay? So I actually felt the need for, I think, Taurus tonight to whip them out. And this is a beautiful deck to kind of round out a reading or to do like a daily vibe. Like, hey, what's my energy today? What do I need to know for today? What do I need to improve on today? So if you feel like you're an energy vamp or you feel like you've got one on you, what do I need to do, right? So let's look at air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini in my chat, and maybe those who are led to me afterward and see kind of like what energy we need to be working with right now. Look at this. It's the Destiny card. And I love it because if you look, everybody's praying. Let me check out. Hold on one second. I want to make sure it's in here. So this is gray, okay? The color is gray, and it's all about that neutral zone, that neutral psychic energy that you can like believe in, okay? Destiny here is all about what's meant to be and understanding that everybody in your space right now is spiritually enlightening you. Everybody in the chat right now, those who are leaving comments, when you read those comments, when you kind of connect with me online, we're all meant to be here, okay? And it's really partially about gratitude. So if you understand that everything we're going through is meant to be, you can actually kind of have something to look forward to after it's over with. So if you're going through shit right now, and you know that everything's meant to happen the way it's supposed to, and it's happening to you right now, you can take that power, you know, and then parlay it into something awesome in the future, okay? All right. So that was air, right? And so fire, what do we need to know energetically? I love these cards. Fire. You guys have despondence. Oh my God. So it's purple. This is actual psychic energy, the purple for me. And also seventh chakra stuff. So if you are feeling detached, despondent, or other people are, this is something is like a trigger for you. And like maybe you react and you get clingy, or they react and they get clingy, or it, you know, kind of attacks you in a way, like mentally or emotionally. You see this person right there? Okay. Yeah. This person like in their own world, and they kind of get like, you know, a little jealous. The despondence energy could be good for them and you if you allow yourself to kind of see the beauty in it. Meaning, if there is the I don't give a fuck energy with one party, there's a reason for it, and you need to figure out not how to get back in with them or how to cling to them or vice versa. If they're doing this with you, you need to find the reason for it and then move that into your next step, whatever that is. So if you are dealing with this kind of energy, you also have to acknowledge that that might be you. And if you're projecting, remember the P's, projection and perception. If you're putting that kind of weird vibe out there, understand that you will affect someone's energy. They will get like this and they will be confused, okay? So fire signs, be aware of that energy happening in the next few weeks, okay? That could be something you're dealing with right now. Water signs. What do we need to know energetically right now? Great cards. fantastic. They're in my store. You will want them. And they're great oracle cards, like I said, for daily. First chakra, energy again. Okay, home, food, job, clothing, shelter, security, stability. Your root chakra, your grounding is right beneath it. Look at this. And it's really interesting because when I do chakra balancings for people, which I'm not like advertising right now, you have to ask me for that in a private reading, but when I do that, I always see the mountain in the first. It's funny. But here with the discovery, this is like discovering your higher self, your power within. You know, it's not the heart chakra, it's the root chakra. So we're dealing with growth and finding a way to get to a point where you can control the vibes around you. Look to your higher self is what I'm saying. This is actually the higher self. Yeah, sure, you got angelic wings here, but it's about grounding yourself in a reality that's still positive for you personally and also setting those boundaries and standards, okay? Earth signs. The elements mean something, people, okay? So remember, in order to protect yourself from, I guess, being run over by a vamp or becoming one, hone in on all four of the elements, no matter what your sign is, okay? Earth, what do we need to know here? Recovery, okay, recovery. Psychic energy, okay? The key is spirit. You see how he's blowing air at them? It's like cleansing yourself, higher self, power, spirit, whatever. But it's also about the key to recovery is your mind and belief and faith, okay? That's what you need to do right now. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, that's it. Energy, right? Cannot be created nor destroyed unless, you create it in your mind, I guess. Okay, we got to go. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Again, I welcome your feedback. Try and keep it light. Try and keep it positive. If you want to ask questions, I'll happily receive the questions and I may be able to use them for another session down the road. Like I said, this is just the surface shit, the basic stuff. And then we're going to delve into some stuff later on, okay? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.